In the name of Amen, the Supreme, the All-Powerful, the one and only true Lord, and Amen we trust as the Republic of Mentellect, the true 144,000 is being gathered in this day and time, the Mentellians. Menzeka Aminun to all of my Mentellian brothers and sisters out there, registered members of the Republic of Mentellect, and to all future Mentellians who have yet to find their way home to Amen's covenant, which is the Republic of Mentellect. I send greetings out to you, and I send peace out to you in our Mentellian language by saying to you, Menzeka Aminun. Good evening. I am your host, the intellectual Newman Menkares, and this is Mentellect Radio. And tonight we're going to be discussing where does your thoughts and imagination really come from, right? I'm glad on Saturday's broadcast where I left off at, this individual called in. I think his name was Mike. I'm glad you actually called in, Mike, and you're probably going to call in later, or you're probably not. I don't think you are, but if you do, I'm here for you. He opened up a good subject. And I said Negroes are always good, if not for anything, they're always good at least for sparking conversation or a topic that I will need to speak on, right? I had planned on speaking on something totally different tonight, but you know what? I had to put that on hold to deal with this because this individual who claims he had questions for me, he actually didn't. He was just more interested in coming up here and trying to prove me wrong, which is strange to me because if you don't acknowledge what I'm saying to be true, just don't listen. And you've listened to several broadcasts, right? And like I said, I don't understand why you keep listening if you feel I'm telling lies. These are my own thoughts and my own imagination. I'm making things up as I'm going along and this, that, and the third and blah, blah, blah and all that nonsense, right? So my thing is he was good for sparking this conversation because I noticed when I put it up there as a subject, a lot of people was like they wanted to hear this. And it's no coincidence that Facebook is blocking certain groups I'm posting because they really don't want you all as so-called quote-unquote black people. I'm seeing this now. They don't want you thinking or opening your mind to receive transmission on a higher level. This is all the so-called Caucasians in power. They don't want your minds open, especially at this point, to receive intelligence on another level beyond the three-dimensional picture that they have crafted for you and the submental messages they send to your minds every day. I said this before and I'll say it again. None of the thoughts that you are thinking are your own. None of the thoughts you are thinking are your own. Everything from the time you were born into this three-dimensional world are programmed for you. Your thoughts are pre-programmed. Your likes, your dislikes, the things you have opinions on that you think you have opinions on are actually programmed in you to have these opinions concerning that. The only thing you're born into the world with as a baby is instinct. You know that you need to eat. A baby will try to eat. A baby will cry as a way to try and, communicate or whatever the case may be, right? Or to let you know that they have a voice that they can, that they can try and scream out, right? And they cry as a way of communicating. That's it. Basic instincts, right, are put in the child. But the child has no thoughts. You're not born into this world with thoughts. That's why you're taught things. Hello? You're taught things because you don't have any thoughts. You are just like a receiver. You are a receiver. You understand that? You are just a receiver. Everybody on the planet is nothing but a receiver. And you are transmitted thoughts. Some are going to be from a higher level. Some are going to be from a lower level. Some are going to be with no more than three-dimensional. Some is going to be all three-dimensional and beyond. But make no mistake about it, your thoughts are not your own. You're nothing but a radio. Y'all are nothing but a bunch of walking radios. You understand? A bunch of walking machines, computers. Your job is to compute or to figure out the transmissions that you are receiving. Can you utilize them or you cannot utilize them? But they're not your own. Like I said to you, Mike, and anybody else that's listening, do babies have their own thoughts? Since you're saying you talk about people having their own imagination and things like that, do babies have their own thoughts? Put a baby somewhere and see if a baby can think of a way to move out and do what they have to do and things like that. No, a baby will not. A baby will stick to basic instincts. A baby will try to eat something, It will try to survive, and then if it doesn't have, it doesn't have the knowledge that it taught to survive, then it will die over time. So all messages are transmitted. Nothing belongs to you. When I said this to this individual, I said my thoughts are not my own, and I know this. See, I'm not egotistical enough to say, "Oh, Mentellect came out of my head, my imagination." Then why didn't it come to me when I was in my 20s? Why didn't it come to me when I was in my teens? Why did it start to come to me in my 30s? Because wherever it was being transmitted from, which is the Amen being, they decided to transmit it to me at that time. And I said I received future transmissions. I received future transmissions. Right? He asked me, well, what is the things that you predicted futurely? What's the futuristic things you brought? Mentellect, the whole teaching of Mentellect is futuristic. The whole teaching is prophetical. The whole teaching of Mentellect, even the word itself, is not of this realm until I brought it through by way of Amen. Everything. Every last thing from Mentellect. That's why so-called black people have a hard time dealing with it or struggling with it, because it's not part of the old Negro slave mentality and teachings that you were receiving in the 20th century, going back. Because it is next level. So where did it come from? Where did it come from? It didn't come from Nuben Menkares. And I said technology didn't come from man. When I tried to explain to him that those people who came with the televisions, the computers, the radios, they were receiving future thoughts, thoughts that were already laid out for people to pick up at a certain time, that was transmitted to certain people from the future to put it out in that day and time, to actually start that technology in use for that time going forward. All technology is future thoughts from the Amen Being. Everything. All technology. You really think that you're thinking up something? If you really think that you're a fool, if you really think that you're thinking up something, that something's not coming from a higher level or a submental level, you are a fool. You are a fool. How many people can you go out here in the world with and hear all these people, right, in the world today, proof that what I'm talking about? You go out here, you hear all these people saying the same exact thing. They all got the same somewhat philosophy on life. YOLO, you only live once. You hear them all, they all got the same opinions about things. They all move in the same clique. They all got the same limited thoughts about things because they're being programmed. They're being programmed. It's all scripted, exactly. They all think the same way. They don't think outside the box because they're programmed in the box. Their thoughts are somebody else's. Their thoughts are submental. The beast knows that. The elites know that. They know that that you are basically, you have no thoughts of your own. They know that. So they generate them in your head for you. They know you're not thinking on no higher level beyond what they're going to give you. They know that. So they generate these thoughts in your head. Like the brother came on the other night, he said, I like black women. I don't know why I like, when the guy, he said the white guy, he knew, the brother came on Saturday, and he asked the white guy, you like black women? He said, yeah, I like black women. I don't know why, but I just like black women. Because a lot of these so-called Caucasians are being programmed to like black women, to mix their seed. Those are transmissions that's going out. You don't even know about the transmissions that go out that you don't even hear. I'm not talking about the regular transmissions that go out via television, radio, music, and things like that. I'm talking about the transmission they send out over the satellites that you can barely, that you're not going to pick up, you're not going to hear, but it goes in subliminally. It goes in subliminally. The things that you're not going to readily hear, but subliminally you hear it. Like when they used to play music and whatnot, and they'd have messages under the music. If you run it backwards, you hear the messages. These are messages that are programmed in you, that are transmitted subliminally. You understand that? You have no thoughts of your own. The word imagination only means image. From the word imagination, you get the word image. And what is the image? The image is something that is transmitted to you. The image is, your thoughts are nothing but transmitted your thoughts are nothing but telepathic transmissions. That's it. Some submental, which is the majority, the rest are upper mental, coming directly from the Amen Being. You really think that the creators of this planet didn't have televisions, radios, and all this other stuff, all the technology that we had 20th century? You didn't think they had that first? And things on a higher level than that? We're getting seconds. We're getting hand-me-downs. Everything we get here comes from them. Everything. All your thoughts come from them. I said I have no thoughts. I have no thoughts of my own. These are telepathic transmissions that are sent to me from the future, from those future beings who have always been futuristic. They came through the earth being futuristic, and they've laid a timeline, a pattern going forward, outer dimensional, with future thoughts for certain people to pick up at certain time frames. But it was all their telepathic transmissions. That's it. This foolishness about my imagination. You ain't got no imagination. The only thing, nothing belongs to you. The only thing you're getting is stuff that comes through you. I told you before, Mentellect don't belong to Nuben Menkares. It comes through Nuben Menkares from Amen. And because I am a part of the Amen beings and whatnot, I receive it. And as I'm receiving it in this day and time, I'm supposed to take charge of it, of course. I'm supposed to be responsible for it because I am dispatching their teaching, their word, their knowledge out for the elect. But it comes from them. It don't come from me. Because if that was the case, I would have been dealing with Mentellect a long time ago. Hell, I was a Muslim at one point in time. I ain't gonna say I was a Christian. I was really no Christian. I was a Muslim. I studied the Israelite thing under Dr. York. I was a Mason under Dr. York and them, and I can admit that I ain't got nothing to hide. If Mentellect was supposed to be for me, you know what I'm saying, or it was my own imagination, why not think of it before? Because I damn sure wouldn't have went through those. I damn sure wouldn't have went through being no goddamn Muslim or no Mason. I would have went straight to Mentellect if I had my choice, but Amen didn't transmit it to me at that time. I had to go through those things to receive that. Just like you transmitted to go certain places and whatnot that are out of your element and whatnot, certain places you're going to be transmitted to go that's going to either extend you on a higher level or it's going to destroy you. You go someplace, you be like, I don't know why I want to go to this party and whatnot. Next thing you know, you go to the party and you get shot up and you dead because it was your time to go. That was transmitted to you to go to that place and die. You understand? That was the time up for you. Same thing when you answer a call, that a thing that's a teaching that's outside the normal, what you usually get in your daily routine, something that's on a higher level. That was Amen channeling you to move out of that space, out of that box, and to extend yourself. Many will not extend themselves; they will go back into the box, and they will receive the submental transmissions from the beast. Because that's all he gives you. He gives you a bunch of submental transmissions to move in a circle. That's it. You don't have no thoughts of your own. Your thoughts on what kind of people you like, what kind of men you like, what kind of whatever you like is transmitted to you. You understand? That's transmitted to you. And it is up to you to logically, because that's your job as a judge. Your job as a judge, as it's supposed to be for all of you, to break down these thoughts and to decide, are these meant to extend me or hold me down or destroy me? Are these going to extend me or destroy me? Many of you choose to follow thoughts that will destroy you. But that's what comes with being a judge, a.k.a. judgment. Mass majority of people have no real judgment, which is based on logic and rationale. Because they still saying stupid stuff like, oh, are you sure that your imagination is this and your imagination that? This guy spent more time trying to convince me of what my thoughts are. You understand where they come from? Are you sure this? How are you going to sit up here and tell another man or another person what their thoughts are? They not your thoughts. You sure it's not your imagination? How do you know that? How do you know? How can you question what's coming through me? I wouldn't dare question what's coming through anybody. All I'm going to ask is, if you come to me and say something like that, I'm going to logically ask you questions to decide whether it's coming from an upper mental source or a lower source. If you come to me. But I know, like I said, I already know. None of our thoughts and none of these things are ours. That's why when I did the broadcast and I said, trust in Amen, don't trust your own thoughts. Your own, and I said the reason why you shouldn't trust your own thoughts because they're not yours. They're programmed in you by the beast. They're programmed. You're programmed from the time you're born to destroy yourself. You programmed to eat bad foods, get high, get fat, deal with all kind of sexual deviancy, all types of stuff. You're programmed like this. I said your thoughts your own thoughts is really the thoughts of the beast. When you people up here talking about I'm doing me, there's no you. You doing somebody else's program. When you want to sit up here and smoke weed, tattoo yourself, gang bang, that's thoughts that's being programmed into you to do. That's not who you are. You programmed to be a whore and a slut. You understand? And YOLO, you only live once and whatnot. These are all forms of social engineering and submental programming. That's not who you are. You understand? That's not who you are. See, but like I said, exactly. Why did he even care what's going on here? He don't listen to the broadcast before. He talking about, oh, you sure it's not based in faith and things like that? And I'm like, no, I know what's coming through me. I know it's not me. And like I said, none of it is me. I know what's coming through me. How you going to tell me what's coming through me? He go, well, maybe it's a faith-based thing. It's just faith and whatnot. But this guy who called in, he's into religion. Now, if you ask him, and I remember this guy, he used to argue with me about the Bible and stuff like that. If you ask this guy, well, do you believe in the Bible and the stuff of the prophecies of the Bible and the prophets? He'll tell you, yeah. But you've never seen none of them prophets. You've never seen none of them people. You don't know whether they saying is real or not. You don't know whether those people exist or not, but you believe in that. But it's hard to accept that I'm receiving knowledge from a higher level. You want to try and debunk that. And the answer he gave you when I said the thing about the sex robots, this idiot going to say, well, some comedian said it in the 50s. That's all you can give me is a comedian in the 50s? He was just saying anything. You could tell. A comedian in the 50s. That's what he said. And then when I said, which I know nobody said before, about swapping out the genetic material, he talked about, oh, scientists said. But funny he couldn't tell you what scientist. He just said scientists just said that. Just scientists said that. What scientist? Give me a name. Is he going to call in with a name tonight? Because he said he was going to call in, right? I want him to call in with a name. I said things over the last 1,000 broadcasts, over 1,000 plus, that's pure prophecy and future knowledge. I stood on that. You understand? I still stand on it. Mentellect is prophecy. Mentellect in itself, the whole teaching of Mentellect is future prophecy and future intelligence. You know that ain't coming from Nuben Menkares. Those are beings, the Amen being, who are pulling an elect group of people into the future by way of transmission and thought that's being sent. What is prophecy? What is prophecy? Prophecy is future visions, is it not? Prophecy is future visions. You receiving future thought from higher beings, extraterrestrials, lords, gods, whatever you want to call them, to do what? To guide you into the future. Is not Mentellect a future knowledge? Does Mentellect sound like any of this stuff that's here now, any of this Negro nonsense that you hear here now? Any of this Hotep, Black Power, Ashe Hotep, Islamic, Assalamu Alaikum? Do Mentellect sound like any of this stuff you hearing here now, black or white? You tell me. But of course, you know, you're going to get some Negro who's going to, yeah, it sounds just like such and such. I'm like, okay, show me where. Show me where. Show me where. And they could never show you. Oh, they expect you to take their word for it. You understand? Because that's all that is. You know, they don't want, like I said, a lot of these Negroes, they want you to stay in that sunken place. As the guy said in the movie Get Out, they want you to stay in that sunken place, a.k.a. the three-dimensional zone up under control of the beast, receiving his submissive thoughts. Because that's what you're receiving. Either you're going to receive submission, because submission, just like transmission, are nothing but telepathic thoughts. What does the white man control? The telepathy. What's lower forms of telepathy? Television, right? Television is lower forms of telepathy. That's all. Telephone, telegraph, which is really text, and texting is really the telegraph redone over. That's nothing but the telegraph, an advanced version of the telegraph. That that's texting. That's all that is. And they use those forms of aka communication, telepath, communication, pathology, pathmatic, right? To send messages. That's all this is about. Streaming messages and sending messages. That's what this is all about. That's why the beast is so heavy on making sure he controls the communications of any society. He's heavy on that. Why? Because he knows that's how you can control the people mentally. He knows the people don't got no thoughts. He knows all he got to do is stream out communication, right? Submental communication, submission, low-grade telepathic transmission to control all of these people. Why you think he always got the people moving like robots and zombies? What is he saying when he show you the people moving like robots and zombies, not thinking and whatnot? Because he knows you can't think. All you know how to do is believe. Your belief is based on low-grade submental telepathic transmission, 3-dimensional. That's all it's based on. Enter and attain control of your mental. Entertainment. Enter and attain control of your mind, your mental. Entertainment. Wake up. You don't have any thoughts. You don't have any thoughts. When you see children coming out here and you talking about they so-called geniuses and whatnot, it's because they're being transmitted to on higher levels from someplace else, from intelligent beings to utilize them for something. But those are not their thoughts. These so-called genius thoughts are not theirs. They're being transmitted to by advanced beings or higher beings, because this place is nothing but transmissions going through here. This place is nothing but transmissions going through here. Telepathic transmissions. Even the spiritual demons or those spiritual demonic energies carry transmissions on them. They carry submental messages on them. Everybody and everything carries or has the ability to receive messages on some level. That's all. This is not hard. And for somebody to introduce themselves as, well, your thoughts and your imagination. If you actually believe that, then like I said, you have no business even talking about anything concerning thought. If you don't know that thoughts are telepathic transmissions, that's all they are, and you are nothing but a receiver, then you got no reason talking about nothing. When I said that knowledge is projected on the earth via sunlight, I said it's the same thing as a projector sending out pictures onto a screen, right? To show an image. Think of your brains as that movie screen, and think of the sun as the projector. Think of your minds as screens, as blank screens, and think of the sun as projectors. What happens when the projector stops sending light, sending messages, pictures, and images and things to the screen? The screen is blank. The screen is blank. What happens when you don't get enough sunlight, right? AKA solar transmission, right? When you don't get solar transmission coming into your brain and whatnot, into your mind, into the mind field and whatnot to send messages and pictures and whatnot, what happens? You get something called sundowner's disease, and you get a form of what's called dementia, where you start losing thought process. Your thought process starts to go. You start forgetting things. It's like you start to go blank. It's the same thing. Look up sundowner's disease. I keep telling y'all, if you don't think what I'm saying is true, look up sundowner's disease. Why do you get states of blank spaces and whatnot when you don't get sunlight? That's a fact. They go sundowner's disease. When you're not receiving transmission and projection from the sun, which all things on this planet receive in order to go forward, when you're cut from that projection, when you're cut from that reception, you're going to go blank like that screen. And you're going to be walking around, you don't even know where the hell you at. You're going to be in states of dementia. You're going to be forgot your name. You're going to be forgot where you come from, everything about yourself, your family members. You'll be forgot everything. Because this is a constant projection coming in. This is constant. You understand that? And real talk, all your projections are supposed to really be coming from the future anyway. all your projections, because how do things move? Do things move from the front, from the back, or sideways? Everything is supposed to move from the front. Everything is supposed to move from the front. So if you sitting around here, if I ask you, well, what is your purpose here? What are you trying to do? What is your real purpose here? And all you can tell me about is your job or what you want to do, then that means you're not receiving no future prophecy. You don't know where you want to be. And that means you don't know why you're here. You don't have no purpose. You're not receiving from the Amen being or from Amen what you're supposed to do here, because all future prophecy, all future vision comes by way of Amen. The Amen beings who were here first, who begat humans. Everything was laid out by them, and you're supposed to be able to tap in to those transmissions that they laid out, so that you understand what your future purpose is here. That's what the whole point of this is. I'm gonna take a call. 901.
Menzak. In Rouge
Menzak.
I thought of something while you was talking I wanted to share with you, based off the caller that you was referring to from Saturday, I think, Friday, Saturday. But, you know, I heard when you was like, he was one of the callers who call in a lot and whatnot. And it dawned on me that not just him, but people who think like him. If you think about it, the topic that you was talking about, right, why black people won't be here in the future, he wasn't even, that really wasn't even difficult to even understand, let alone understand. So you could tell his approach was to try to debunk anything that you was going to say from broadcasts he may not have understood, like, you know, weeks ago, months ago, a year ago. It wasn't that he was trying to understand nothing that you was saying. That's why he was like, well, you sure it's just not your imagination? What's so hard about understanding the black race won't be here if they stopping their bloodline?
Exactly. I was showing him things that you can see now. This is not even hard. I showed him the so-called black woman who is willing to mix her seed outside of other races of people, and the so-called black man, but especially the so-called black woman nowadays who is mixing their seed. And I said anything that comes out of that mixing is not black anymore. I don't care. All the mulattoes people talking about, they're not black. And they're going to be encouraged to get with other mulattoes or Caucasians or whatever that are not black. You understand? Colin Kaepernick is not black. You can try. They trying to make him a black man. He's not a black man. So-called black man. I mean, that wasn't even hard to see. If you got people doing that over time and whatnot, like I'm gonna give you a good example. Quincy Jones, this coon, right? His daughters, if you look at them, they're the product of a biracial thing with him and a white woman. Now, one of the daughters, like white men, and they both look like straight up mulatto. They don't look nothing like black females and whatnot. But then they gonna get with white boys, and they gonna get with white boys. And once they do that, and they have children, Quincy Jones' bloodline is gone. After a while, you don't see no more black people. That's it. And these Negroes want to erase the so-called black bloodline. I mean, how many people you don't see did that? That's not even hard to see. You got so many people doing that. That's going to eventually go away. And then I said, when you got black people here who really have no clue of why they're really here, who they are, right, what their purpose is in the world, it's easy to get rid of them. They have a white man doing it right now. It's easy to get rid of them. It's easy to tell them anything, lock them up, shoot them down, and whatnot, because they don't have no purpose. If your purpose is, and your whole understanding is, your identity, what you're supposed to be, who you are through the eyes of Caucasians, then you ain't. And when the minute the so-called Caucasian not thinking about you no more, or telling you who, if you African American, you a Negro, you black, now you so-called Indian. When the white man stop giving you these titles and giving you these ways of thinking, then where you gonna be at that? Nowhere. Because they depend on him for their reception. Like when I said the thing about Black Panther, you got these Negroes talking about they found themselves through the whole Wakandan thing and Black Panther, and they talking about they rediscovered their African roots. Now here the damn Black Panther is written by two white Jews. Here it is. They need two white Jews for them to rediscover themselves. People who ain't got nothing to do with your lineage, your bloodline, nothing. These Negroes acting like they having a so-called woke moment off of a fictitious place and a fictitious story and fictitious characters. But that just showed the mind to the black people. This is why they're not going to see the future. If you don't have no real purpose for being here, you don't know who you are, who you ultimately are, then you ain't got no reason for being here. There's no such thing as black people. I keep telling these simple-minded Negroes that, like I said, the white man called them that, they don't even know what to do past black. Their whole thing depends on Caucasians. Their whole identity, what they're going to do next, depends on Caucasians. They don't got no
Mhm.
culture. They don't got no language, no culture, no community. So how the hell are you going to make it into the future?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
But
I
you're gonna
definitely
get some of these
understand, man.
simple-minded
I
Negroes who proud. You're gonna get some of these simple-minded Negroes who proud. Yeah, if you think black people going nowhere, you ain't too bright. You're not. They're not going nowhere. And the only reason, like I said, the only
Mhm.
reason that the black race is still around is because Armin is going to allow the bright race to be pulled out of the black race. And after that, that's a wrap for the black race. After the bright race is pulled out of the black race, that's a wrap for the black race. That's it. The white man going to destroy the black race.
Mhm.
Why? Because he created the whole idea of a quote unquote black race.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I definitely understand, Menzo. I wanted to point that
Mm-hmm.
out because you could tell that he was trying to make it about debunking you. That was my thing.
Yeah, I know. I
Any
know.
caller
I
that
know.
calls in for future reference, if you hear the topic, if you know what the topic is, whether you see it in the link or whether you hear it when you call in, stay on topic. Since you ain't trying to debunk nothing, stay on topic.
Yeah.
Listen,
Well,
comprehend.
well, didn't he say he was going? Didn't he say he was going to call back here?
Yeah, he said
And
he
he
was
going
gonna
to give me
call
the
back with
name of
some
that so-called.
info.
He said he gonna give me the name of that scientist that talked about the genetic swap. And I forgot to mention why I talked about soul track, where they're gonna be able to track your soul or your spirit to where it's gonna go into body. The body will be able to have a machine to track it and whatnot, where it go, and they'll be able to direct it. I mentioned all this stuff thousands of broadcasts ago, but he just focused on the thing when I said sex robots, and I'm like, the only thing he was able to say is some comedian in the 50s. That's all you got?
Mm.
A comedian in the 50s. It's like no matter what I said, it was going to be wrong. No matter what I said, that's the whole
Yeah.
thing he came with. No matter what I said, it was going to be
Mhm.
wrong. Going to make up anything. Yeah,
Mhm.
somebody said that before. Somebody said that before. You can
Mhm.
tell. No matter what I said,
Mhm.
ain't no way in hell nobody said nothing about nobody being able to switch out genetic material or a woman being able to switch out genetic material on her child up to 4 years old. Nowhere nobody said that. And I'll put my life on that right now. I'll put my life on that.
Mhm.
If he call in here now, he show me what somebody said that, I'll stop teaching right now.
Mhm.
That's how I know he lying. And you got these Negroes
Mhm.
here, like I said, that's the black devil who come in here to serve the beast, who kind of come and cause confusion, and that's it.
Mhm.
And he did his
Cause
job,
see, when
but like
when
I
he was
said,
talking, notice how you was trying to answer his question. Cause I know you open minded. You know, you always
yeah,
leave the lines open for questions and whatnot. But you never really asked him. Well, brother, is the topic ultra standing to you? Do you understand what you know what I'm saying? Because you could tell he was trying to he was calling in from broadcasting he didn't understand from a long time ago. You
yeah,
feel
he
me? It
didn't
wasn't about the
understand it.
topic at hand.
He didn't understand nothing. He didn't. Because you could see he was quiet for minutes when I would ask him, well, such and such. He said, well, you're trying to be technical about it. I'm like, yeah, you talking about technology? Yeah, we got to be technical. We got to take exactly what's being said here. You understand? We're not going to go
Mhm.
off of my interpretation or your interpretation. We're going to take what literally is being said here and explain and break it down. He didn't want to do that. His whole mindset was everything
Mhm.
I'm saying is wrong and I'm making it up. That's what he came with the mindset to do. He didn't come here to actually
Mhm.
have a real discourse or one that really have an explanation or learn anything. He didn't come with that
Mhm.
mindset. You could tell that. When
Mhm.
you're dealing with people like that, the
Cause
best thing you do is because I'll entertain it for a while, but when you're dealing with people like that, it's best to just like don't even listen no more. It's not for you because you're not.
yeah.
It's not. It's no matter what I say, it's wrong, and it can make all
Yeah.
the sense in the world. 100 people be like, that makes sense. It'd be that those 5, 6, 7 oddballs that don't make no sense, because they can't hear it. Their mindset is this is all BS. This wrong. But and I say this: be mindful of these people who want to tear everything down and put nothing in its place. Be mindful of those.
Mhm.
Be mindful. They want to destroy
Mhm.
everything. They want to tear down Nuben Menkares. They want to tear down Mentellect. I'm pushing a cult. I'm trying to push a teaching. I'm trying to control people. They want to tear me down, but what are they putting in my place? I could at least respect that. If you're going to tell me, okay, well, Nuben is wrong, this is why he's wrong. No, Nuben just wrong, and I don't got the answer, but Nuben wrong.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't got the answer. I don't know my ass from a hole in the wall, and when I know Nuben wrong. I ain't got no answer about nothing.
Mhm.
Because if you're going to tell people they wrong, that means you know what's right. You can't tell nobody
Mhm.
this is wrong, and you're not saying, well, this is why it's wrong, and this is really what it's supposed to be. He didn't do that. And most of these Negroes who got something
Mhm.
to say, they don't never do that. They just got criticism because they don't like Mentellect because really, they don't really understand it. Because this is really what the source of that
Mhm.
is. They don't really understand Mentellect because it's not the typical black Negro or submental stuff from the so-called white man. They don't understand it. So it got to be something. I'm going to make it into something that I can, understand, and then I can just push it aside and destroy it as just some nonsense that's made up by this guy. That's what I'm going to do with it. I'm not going to, because I can't
Mhm.
understand it. I'm going to try and trash it and make up stuff on it and whatnot to try and debunk it. But how you going to debunk something that you
Mhm.
don't even understand?
Mhm. Yeah, I don't like to get biblical, but honestly, they don't even understand that we in Revelations, and you know what I'm saying. What role you really play? I don't really like to refer to it because it's so understood by the elect. But if you don't even know who you're talking to, how you gonna ever begin to understand, let alone understand where this person is coming from? If you don't even know the position that this man plays, referring to you now, if you don't even
Mm-hmm.
know what time you in, if you don't even know who you talking to, if you don't even know that you're supposed to be receiving reception from this person that was sent by the source, you ain't gonna never get it. It don't matter how many questions you ask. It don't matter
Huh.
what you thinking. You submental. You're not gonna get it.
He's
You
not
just
supposed
not
to
gonna
get it.
get it. The one thing I
He ain't
noticed, they
supposed to
just
get it.
never gonna say that they don't get it,
Exactly.
or they ain't meant to get it. They don't want to accept it.
No, they gotta tear it down. That's like the big dummy in school when all the smart kids getting the lesson. The big dummy because he don't understand it. He gonna knock stuff over. He gonna try to bully the smart
Mhm.
kids and whatnot. That's what they are. That's the big dummy is because they
Mhm.
mad they can't get it. You know.
Mhm.
That's all it is.
Mhm.
Just childish. You know what I mean? Just childish.
Mhm.
And I'm still waiting for him to call in. He said he was gonna call back in, right? With the name of that
Mhm.
scientist and whatnot that said exactly what I said. Like I said, no matter what I said, oh that's not new. That's not new. That's not coming from. That's not new. And this guy done listened to
Well,
broadcast before, and we done went through on the religion thing. But this guy's a clown, man. He's a clown. They'll
I
send
say this
white
though, because
ones,
I don't want
black
to. I
ones,
don't
you know
want
what
to
I mean?
hold.
Whatever.
I
Yeah,
don't want to hold you. I
that's
say this: if he do call in, and if he do give you that info, the elect want to know if you understand the subject matter, or I just
yeah.
say we need to know if you understand the subject matter at hand. Where your thoughts
You
come
already
from?
know.
Does it resonate with you?
You
Where your thoughts come from? If you don't even call.
He don't understand it. You could tell it because he came on here talking about you worship the god Amun Re from Egypt, right? How many times I done said on this broadcast we're not talking about no Amun Re from no Egypt, and when that Amun don't come from Egypt, that these Amun beings came down into those societies and whatnot, but they were not the creation or the concept of those people. They're telling you in real life
Mhm.
accounts who they seen come down. They refer to them as the Neteru, who they seen come down, who they were being gods and godlike beings and futuristic beings. That's what they were describing. This is not their concept. But see, a simple-minded person like that don't understand that. So
Mhm. Yeah,
they
I
clearly
ain't gonna prolong it.
they clearly describing those encounters they had with those extraterrestrial beings who came down. That's all they're describing on the pyramids, on the walls. Those beings had wings on their back and stuff like that, and shooting power from their hand and whatnot, and all this other stuff. That's what they were describing. Even in the Sumerian thing, it's describing extraterrestrials coming down here to Earth. That's all. It's the
Mhm.
same ones. It's the same future beings that are sending us this knowledge as the elect right now. Same future beings. They were futuristic back then. They always going to be futuristic because they're ahead of us, and they're going to be sending us messages into this time frame to move us ahead. Simple as that.
Mhm. Mhm. Let me say this because you made me think of it while you talking to me. Like the people that who consider themselves black, right? The people who consider themselves black could never comprehend the reality of being bright. Just as they can't comprehend that Amun Ra is not the same as Amen, meaning it's a continuation, it's an advancement, it's an enhancement. He doesn't have to be who he was then if he's continuously, extending, even in this day and time and beyond. So it's the same concept to me. If you can't even accept that you're black, how you gonna accept that Amun is not the Amun from back then? It's
Exactly.
hand in hand.
Exactly.
So yeah, I ain't
Well,
gonna prolong it on this, bro.
The Amun Ra that they keep talking about is those people back then, those men back then who were the receivers back then, because that's all the Amun Re is an Amun receiver, one who was receiving from the Amun beings. So the Amun Re would be what they would call the Messiah back then. You understand? Like I would be considered an Amun Re. I would be considered an Amun Re today, because that's all it is. You got Amun and Amun Re. When I did the broadcast on Amun and the Amun Re, that's just really in the white man. He said the watered down version of God and the Son of God, or God and Christ. That's their watered down Re is saying Amun Re, because Re is the Son.
Yeah, I definitely. I understood it. I understood it. Even before you didn't even have to explain it for me. I already knew. But I also knew that Amen in this day and time is an extension and the real account of even that. So
yeah,
I understand. Right. But I'm gonna let you continue, Menzo.
All right, Menzak. Yeah, like I said, this is you know, and it just tells you, because how we have an understanding of it to where it's simple, that means our level of transmission is being raised. Our level of transmission is being raised, and you got the mass majority of people, black, white, and everything in between, who can't understand not one thing we saying. So that's a sign that this transmission is being sent to raise us. It's not coming from us. It's being sent through us to raise us up. Mentellect is being sent to the elect to raise us up and separate us from everybody else here. That's the whole point of that. That's the whole point. It's separating the elect. The same way the so-called elite had knowledge for years, the so-called white elites, the Illuminati, they had knowledge for years that the whole world, that they kept from the whole world, right, that they was receiving, right, through their rituals, through their things they were doing at the damn Bohemian Grove, the freaking off and all the stuff they was doing, all the rituals they was really doing, trying to channel in Amun's transmission and frequency, and the sacrifice they was getting to get that knowledge. Right, the things they was doing to get that knowledge that they became the people in the know of and whatnot. All they did was take that knowledge and water it down, cut it in half, and give it out to the people. So all these transmissions that's coming through the planet, from upper mental to submental, directly comes from Amun. All the white man did, the elites did, was they watered down the upper mental message that was meant to transform the people into higher states of being. And this is why you got these societies that run off of the submental message, because they took the message that was coming directly from Amun, right? That they was able to channel in and whatnot through sacrifices and rituals and things like that, and they just cut it down, watered it down, and gave it off to the people as information. They took the intel and watered it down into information. That's all. You understand? They took the intel that was coming directly from Amun and watered it down into transmission. I mean, excuse me, into information. I'm sorry. They watered it down into information. They made it palatable to everybody. That's why I said the whole idea of God and Jesus really comes from Amun and Amun Re. You understand? They took the soul or the solar account of Amun and watered it down into a spiritual thing that everybody can get it. So that's where they created God and Jesus from. That's where that comes from. You understand? And the Amun Re that would constantly come forward, the ones who would receive the reception of Amun that would constantly come through different societies and whatnot. Like I said, those were the prophets of those times. And those were bronze men. Those were bronze men. Let me take another call. 205.
Menzak. This Enru Elijah Daisy.
All right, Menzak.
Okay, I just wanted to hit on. I remember one broadcast you was talking about the brain have to receive messages.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically, because I know you said the guy said that you don't. I mean that. You were talking about that you don't make. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You went out for a second. Got it. I'm listening. You went out for a second. Come on. I got it.
All right. But anyway, like you said, the brain have to receive messages. If it don't receive messages, you'll be a vegetables. So meaning, if someone sends a message to your phone, someone have to be sending a message for you to receive a message. Am I right?
Exactly. Just that simple.
I was just trying to make sure I understood that right. Understood.
Yeah. In a nutshell, that's it. You know.
That's all I want.
Whether you're going to receive upper mental transmission to move you forward, or submental to keep you moving in a rotation, which is what the mass majority of these people receive on the planet, to keep them in that slave mindset, be it black and white, the ones who got you in the corporate world following in that circle and whatnot, where there's no end in sight. That's transmissions that they send, or submissive transmissions they send to you to keep you in that slave mindset. But these are constant transmissions they push out. All right?
All right, I hear you. That's just like the words they use. Like, everybody use the same words. Like, if they hear it through the music, you notice all the new words they use is coming through the music, but they don't even think about it. They just think of it as being cool or hip or whatever they call it. They don't think about being programmed to say these words.
Exactly. The beast don't want no programs coming to the masses from outside of his three-dimensional communication center. He don't want no messages coming. That's why he goes so hard to have everything up, make sure he control all the communication. He gonna make sure he control the television, the radio, what you see, what you hear, everything. That's how he controls it, so he can put his own submental transmissions into your mind. That's how he does it. Why do you think so many people all of a sudden accepting homosexuality and lesbianism as a regular thing? Because he put it in your mind that it's nothing wrong with that. He's putting it in there. You didn't just wake up liberal to, oh, ain't nothing wrong with that. No, you didn't wake up to that. You had to be programmed into that. You had to have those thoughts transmitted into your head and whatnot, and then they trying to make it regular. You see?
Right. Yep. But, a lot of those people, actually, they just chaos and confusion. They confused. I had a guy today that actually said, he was speaking of homosexuality. He said, well, if you homosexual and you think you're going to heaven, then you wrong, because God don't accept homosexuals. Yet he said that it's okay with him. Yet he's supposed to be a God-fearing or God-loving person. He go to church all the time or whatnot. But he said God don't accept it, but he does, because only God can do it.
Well, there you go. Who told him to accept it? Not that he was about God. He said he's following God, right? According to what he said, he a God-fearing and he following God, and he said God don't accept it, then he ain't supposed to accept it. But because the so-called white man programmed him to accept it mentally and transmitted it into his head to accept those thoughts and whatnot, he accepted now. That shows you that the transmission from the so-called white man, the elites, to follow that is stronger than his so-called belief in God. See? And that's what them people in the church, they accept faggots and lesbians in the church. They accept that. They accept it. That's the programming from the so-called white man, the beast. That's the programming from him to accept it. And that's fine. They could accept it. That's on them. I mean, it is what it is. Over there. That's why Armin is separating us from everybody else through MENTELLECT, because that represents those who are gonna follow the submental and submissive transmission, the slave transmission of the beast, as so-called black people and white people and the rest of the human race, versus those who are gonna follow the upper mental transmission and reception of Armin. That's why we being separated. That's why I said there had to be a republic of MENTELLECT. People thinking, oh, you just set this up because you just want people to follow. No, Armin told me to set this up to separate his chosen, his elect, away from all these submentals. Simple as that, so that we can receive that transmission, and us by ourselves alone in this covenant separately. That's it.
Correct. Well,
right.
MENTELLECT.
Calls 704.
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Great. Yes, I can.
Hi. My name is Ishan, and I was basically calling in reference to the broadcast that took place on Saturday when you were going back and forth with the guy Michael, I think. I just wanted to let you know that if he was paying any attention, or he paid attention to 4 or 5 broadcasts ago, that you did 4 or 5 broadcasts ago, you even stated that the information that you're putting out has never been heard before, and the Library of Congress forced you to put a patent on the information that you're putting in the book. So that right there lets you know that your information has never been heard before. And I felt as though this guy was basically being an agent and trying to throw you off your path and trying to deter you or deter any future members from joining your, you're what you're currently doing, basically. So, I mean, I appreciate basically what you're doing and trying to wake up the people, those of us who are seeking the knowledge. But the question that I currently have is, what would you recommend those of us, as far as like mental defenses, to basically stop these negative transmissions from coming through to us, like, or to deter the negativity that's coming through? What would you recommend to counteract this?
Join the Republic of Mentellect. That's, I'm gonna tell everybody that, join the Republic of Mentellect. See, because, and I say that because as long as you are amongst the so-called black race, right? Because I said either you're gonna serve the beast or you're gonna serve Amen. It's no in between. As long as you're out here as so-called black people in the world, you're going to receive all those negative and demonic transmissions, because that is the time in which the so-called black race is in, where they're open vessels to demonic energy and possession and submissive and submental transmissions. They're open for that, and thus you moving as a so-called black person who has not separated yourself from the black race. You can say you separated, but unless you make that outward declaration by leaving the black race, that's what Mentellect was set up for, and the Republic was set up for. So we are coming out on the other side as the Mentellians, as a new society, as a new movement going forward in this stage of evolution. That's the only way we're doing this. There's no other way. That's why I said, when those people who are still amongst the so-called black race, I don't have anything for them but to say, if you really want out of this, then join the Republic of Mentellect. That's it. I don't have anything for the black people at all. That's why I said Mentellect is not for black people.
Okay. That was basically it. I appreciate what you're doing, and thank you very much for taking my call.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to say to the young lady, I received a copyright on my book, Creation and Evolution and Creation, the Creation book. I got a copyright on that. Now I see 704. I'm gonna take your call, but I got a copyright on that. You can't get copyrights on work that somebody else did before. I was explaining how the planet was really created, the solar system, the dimensions and whatnot. I explained that in that book. You know what I mean? Those of you who ordered the book, I broke it down very simply when I talked about the projected transmission of these places and whatnot, and how they were built and whatnot, and how they were transmitted and projected into dark matter from pure solar light or solar brightness, and they were transmitted into dark matter through constant focus of that solar energy into dark matter, into a creationary belt or conversion belt. I talked about that in the book, and I got a copyright on that. You can't get a copyright on work. You know, look in the book. You can't get a copyright. I got the copyright. For those who don't think it's real, I got the copyright on that book. Now, you can't get copyrights on work that's already come out. So that's a proof that knowledge I was given in that book came from the future, came from the almond beings. It didn't come from me. I'm saying that. Now, if I wanted to be egotistical and act like I'm such a genius and this is all my thoughts, I would do that. But it's not coming from me. I'm telling you that. I don't care if you don't believe me, you don't want to accept it. I don't care. I'm telling you what is. I could not have got a copyright for it, because they make sure they go through all of this stuff and whatnot, the copyright office, before they give you a copyright. And they gave me a copyright on that book. And I've had that copyright over 2 years now, 2 to 3 years since the book been out, and it's about to be reprinted. 704, I'm taking your call. 704. 704.
Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Nubin.
All right.
Yeah, what's good, Nubin?
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for you, brother. I know you talk about the transmission of basically the through the mind, right, of the almond race.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got a question. Like basically like mating, like how is the minds of like the chosen elect, like the seeds of almond, transmit on earth, like through the mating? Like, can you know how, like, our parents, they mate or whatever, and then like the sperm hits the the egg or whatever, and the explosion take place. Like, in other words, how does the mental mind comes on Earth as a projection of Amen, basically. Like, what is your thoughts on that? Like,
when the sperm travels up the man's out of the testicle and whatnot, up the spinal column, it goes up into the brain to receive that charge, and then it comes back down the spinal column and out through the penis and whatnot, and it goes and connects to the woman's eggs, right? And that is the mental connection.
Yeah.
That charge that the sperm received when it went up into the pineal gland as it traveled up the spine and whatnot, it received and traveled back down. That's the charge.
Got you. So, but without, true, that's okay. But without, basically, I only asked that because, like, I thought about, like, maybe when the Amen beings, having they meeting, right? And by we being the descendants of them, right? I figured that when they intermingle and they sperm hit, I feel like it goes down into Earth as a mental charge in the sperm. You see what I'm saying? Like in a physical form. So that's basically how that happens, right? So we basically like mental minds coming from them through they mingling. So anytime our parents basically mating out of the elect, basically the Amen race is mating. You feel me? And like they sperm, whatever, they creation is basically being brought down to Earth in physical form. So that's how I thought about it. So I wanted to ask that, for clarification on that. You feel me?
It's really a projection. It's not a creation. It's a projection. The creation is the creation. The manifestation, the projection is meant to be an extended one, because you got some. Don't think that every so-called black person is of Amen. They not. Every so-called black person is not of Amen. Some are just clones that are limited into the three-dimensional, and they're just going to come here to be slaves and servants. That's it. You're gonna have those who are gonna serve the elect. The same way you got these so-called black people here now that serve the elites, and the next generation on, the mixed race, or that which is left of the so-called black race, because there ain't gonna be no black race, but the mixed race are gonna serve the elect in this next chapter. So those who are not directly of Amen or Amenic descent, they're gonna serve that order. And that goes for what's left of the so-called black race. If there's any of them left around and whatnot, they're going to look prehistoric. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we are going to went through that transition anyway. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's another reason why I want to bring that up. One more thing, and I'm going to let you ride. But I'm just, you was talking about basically the mixing of the gray race or whatever like that, and the mulattoes. And then I just noticed how, like, a lot of celebrities, like, for instance, like Chris Brown, Chris Bosh, and who else? There's a couple other brothers, but I don't even want to say brothers. I'll take that back. There's a couple of them black males or whatever. They mixing with mulatto chicks. You feel me? And you notice that's major. You know what I mean? And they pushing them in the main media about their kids and this and that. But it's a lot of the black men mixing with a lot of mixed mulatto women. And I feel like that's an image right there that they're trying to promote. You feel me? For the minds of the people in general. So that's another little thing I wanted to throw out. But,
those are black. Those are black humans. Those are black humans, because your black humans, they don't see anything wrong with laying down with the rest of the human race, the white and everything else, and they don't care about the smell or nothing like the hair. No, they don't care about that because they black humans. Black humans will lay down with anybody because they all humans.
They're mentally lost. Basically, they got the spirit in them. Basically, white. Basically, white and black body.
Yeah, that's the spirit energy of the other human. They got human spirits. Right? They're not of the soul of Amen. Right.
Well, I appreciated that transmission for real, because that was on my mind, and I wanted to get that out about us being transmitted as a mental mind through the sperm of the Amen race. You feel me? As the elect, only the elect. You feel me? So I wanted to get clarification on that, and I appreciate that.
What city you call? Well, hold on. What city are you calling from?
I'm calling from right now I'm in Aiken, South Carolina, but I'm from Charlotte, and I actually came to your meeting in New York in September with my father. Okay. I think it was a while back. Babe, Braun,
you sent your letter in, right?
Yeah. I was too young though. I'm 19 right now. Yeah, I'll be 20 in June. I'm gonna resend it in June or whatever the case may be, and I'm best to come to bright women because I am. Yeah. I'm definitely coming.
All right.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So,
all right.
My father actually in too. I just wanted to notice my father in. He's already in. So it's amazing. It's another. I always want to get it off my chest.
Your father's a member?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he I don't know if you know his whole name or whatever, but I don't know if I want to blurt it out or whatever. But my father is a member because, like I said, me and him and his little, his
What's your
girl,
father's
whatever
first
came.
name? What's your father's first name?
Dominican.
Oh, okay, yeah. Dominican, yeah.
He just
Okay.
recently joined. Yeah, and
All
I
right,
wanted to drop this out because it's because he got 2 kids, right? And I'm the oldest, I'm the man, and then he got the woman, my little sister, and we both in tune. You feel me? Like we both in tune, like we bright. You know what I mean? So I felt like that was the new spark of the generation. So like that's a little family thing. You feel me? So we all about to bond again together and make moves and stuff like that. So it's kind of amazing to hear that and see that transmission. And I know that this frequency is taking place, and also this prophecy is real. It's real. You feel me?
It's real. I keep telling these people, see, the more real it becomes, the more unreal these people are going to show themselves to be.
Exactly.
They ain't ready for this, man. They want to be in the 3 dimension. They want to stay lost in the 3 dimension. That's the hell with the black race.
My mother,
the hell with
my
them.
my mother, my grandfather, they really stuck. Like they stuck, especially my grandfather. So, and I'm just seeing it like ever since I've been in tune or whatever. You feel me? And it's like I've been breaking away, and I've been seeing so much demonic energy, and like they just trapped. Like it's deep though. It's real though at the same time, cause like the more realer you get, the more faker you see the world, basically, or the realer you see them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's deep.
It literally this knowledge and Amen, the realer Amen becoming in your world, and you see the reality of Amen and whatnot every day through Mentellect and everything in the world. You see how fake these people are, man. How phony they lie, they make up stuff. They nothing they say is real. They 2-faced it and whatnot. You hate people, man. It make you really hate them.
Right, man.
Like you don't want to be around them.
And it's crazy because I don't want to talk to nobody but people. Like I even got a couple brothers, that I met on Instagram that they members or they future members. Like I know a guy, he's 18 too. You know what I mean? I just ran to him or whatever like that through the social media joints. I barely be on, but dropping jewels and knowledge, and that's it. I bounce off.
Okay.
But I just keep my circle small. You feel me? So I'm glad, my father and hopefully my young sister, she get it. She continue because she 18, so she got about 2 more years in. But
all right.
Hopefully, But I know I'm chosen for real, so I'm gonna join once I'm 20.
We're gonna form we're about to form the Y group. We're gonna form the youth group and whatnot, the Y group for associate members who gonna come in, who they gonna we're gonna put you on in the Y group and whatnot till you go into the Z group and whatnot. We're gonna put you in the youth, the Y group, the youth group, the Y that's gonna be. So just inbox me that one. I'm gonna put everybody in the Y group, the young people, so y'all can get out here and start passing out flyers and whatnot, helping the cause to find out the Mentellians, our brighter brothers and sisters and whatnot. So yeah, I get in this thing, man. All right. So yeah, just inbox.
All right. Well, look, I'm gonna get Facebook and all once I I know I'm only gonna get it when I join the member because that's when I can keep contact. But I get my father to shoot me down the text for me because he'll be in tune to it, so I already know what it is.
All right.
All right, brother. You be good. All right.
You be good. Take care.
All right.
All right. 919.
Yes, greetings. Just to follow up with what the brother said, how they're pushing the mulattoes right now. That is so true because I saw a program recently where Beyonce kids, the Kardashian kids, they're getting ready to be on the Little Big Shot show with Steve Harvey. So that is something that's what they're pushing quite naturally. And in addition to that, I was watching a BBC program with these scientists from England, and they had mounted these cameras on these whales, and they're exploring underwater life. But what was interesting when the British lady said, we did not inherit the planet from our ancestors, but we are borrowing the planet from our grandchildren, our future generation. And that made me think of what you have been really, teaching, that we cannot live in the past, that it's the future generation that, our future ascendants, and that we have to look to, and not the past. So I was just flabbergasted when I heard that white lady said we did not inherit the planet from our ancestors, but that we are borrowing the planet from our grandchildren and future generation. So your teaching is right on, New Ben. And so I just wanted to call in and let you know that the more I listen and the more I am seeing how, things are actually, solidifying itself, that this is the way it is. And so for that, I want to tell you that I'm very grateful. And I just want to thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Look forward to seeing your letter.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a great one. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. We're going to play a little bit of music, and we shall be right back. And we're back. The problem that a lot of these people got, they don't have no problem with what I'm saying. They got a problem with the fact that it didn't come from the white man. See, now they would have been okay if I would have said I read it out of this book, or I read what I'm teaching out of this book or that book, and my thoughts are directly from the so-called white man, because that's the mass majority of people on the planet. Your thoughts all come from the white man. Your arguments, your beliefs, your stance on what you take all come from the white man. And I said that, yeah. Your thoughts come from the white man. My thoughts come from Amen. They don't come from man. I don't get the twisted up thoughts, because, see, everything directly, all knowledge, all intelligence comes from Amen. But see, what ends up happening is the so-called white man, he makes sure he takes it and waters it down and hides bits and pieces of it and whatnot and destroys things, or he don't get it all away, right? And he'll give you the watered down version. And that becomes the doctrine that you believe in, your spirituality, your religion, your slave mentality, to go to work for him every day and serve him. Because I told you before, either you serving the beast or you serving Amen. There's no in between. You ain't serving yourself. There's no you. There is no you. Either you serving Amen, and the only way you serving Amen is by receiving that transmission of Amen, and that transmission of Amen is being stored here in the storehouse, which is the Republic of MENTELLECT. That is the only way that you're getting that. You ain't getting no transmission from Amen. The only transmission you're going to get from Amen outside the Republic of MENTELLECT is to get your ass into the Republic of MENTELLECT. After that, that's going to be cut off. You understand? That's going to be cut off. You understand? That's going to be cut off. That's the last trend. I'm telling all you people out here who getting this transmission, and you saying, brother, it resonate what you saying, resonate what you saying, resonate what you saying with me. After a while, it's going to stop resonating. I'm letting you know right now. After a while, what I'm sending out to you by way of Amen is going to stop resonating with you. I'm letting you know right now. Because the only reason it was meant to resonate with you, where you can have an understanding of it and you can be able to see it, meaning to receive what I'm putting out by way of Amen, receiving that transmission, and you're able to see the extension of what I'm talking about, is because that was your signal and your sign to come into the Republic of MENTELLECT as the Mentellians. Not to be outside talking about, hey, brother, I'm with you, I'm growing with you. And that's for all you people in YouTube land and all this other stuff. You're going to be out there with the black race. I'm letting you know that. Those risks, I'm letting you know, and ain't nobody trying to scare nobody into joining MENTELLECT. You don't have to join. We don't care if you join. But I'm just letting you know, after a while, all of it is going to cease, because I done seen it happen before. You know how many people done start out with me, yeah, brother, I'm with you. I'm receiving what you saying, brother. Yeah, brother. People done wrote letters and whatnot. And like I said, they never followed through. They phony. They never followed through. They love the beast too much. They love the three-dimensional world. They want to. They say their intention is to be of Amen and be about the Republic, but they can't, because they own selfish and personal reasons why they can't extend themselves. They have no own, because see, when you extend yourself on that fourth dimension, when you open your mind to receive that transmission and you are able to receive that, that's a sign that Amen is allowing you to extend yourself. Amen is allowing you to become part of the bigger picture, the extended picture through your children, through your bloodline. All that Amen is opening the door for you. But because you want to focus on the three-dimensional thing, the things you don't like, or the things you might not be feeling and whatnot, you don't trust what Amen gave you. You don't trust what Amen has transmitted you to do and feel and connect to. You don't trust that. You trust the beast and you trust your old way of life. And you're going to be left in this old way of life that's going to be destroyed over time. Because all old things are destroyed. All old acquaintances, all old contacts, and all old transmissions are going to be destroyed to make room for the next chapter. That's real. That's real. You understand that? Those of you, like I said, you're not doing me no favor. Like I said, people claim, oh, I'm with what you saying. Well, no, you're not. If you would with it, you here in the Republic of Mentellect. That's the only persons who are going to be with Mentellect totally. Those who are going to be here. And those who in the Republic of Mentellect who really not doing what they're supposed to do in this Republic, they're going to be out of here. Their transmission going to get cut. If you're not sincere, you're not about taking this message forward and living this life, not sitting up here half-assing it. I still kind of want to be black, but then I want to be bright too. No, it don't work like that. Either you're going to be all bright or not. Either you're going to be all Mentellian, what you came here to be, or not. Either you're going to receive and live by this law and this order and this message or not. You can't have your foot in one world with the goddamn beast and then in the other world with Amen. That don't work like that. Because Amen going to let you go. Amen's going to let you go. And it ain't going to be Nuben Menkares is going to let you go because I don't run this show. Amen run the show. I'm just a receiver and the transmitter. That's it. Amen going to let you go. Amen going to give you up to your own vile affections. If you love the beast and his world and making money and chasing the money to give back to him, you love that whole slave, submissive frequency and transmission. You love YOLO so much you only live once. You love shopping till you drop. You like going out with multiple people and being around people and being at events and being around people. Then Amen going to give you up to them people, man. He going to let you be destroyed with them. They already destroyed. They just seeking death, man. Just wait for death to come. It's coming. They already dead. Like I said, the mass majority of this world, because of the submental transmission that they receiving, they already being transmitted to die. That's it. That's all. They already being transmitted to die. And like I said, again, this represents life. Those of you who don't think this represents the next world, the next life and whatnot, you don't need to be here. If you got any doubt about that, I keep telling you leave because you're going to bring down our transmission. This represents that brightness, that next chapter, that next life. We walking into it as a next level people, as a next people. An extended people or persons, we walking into it as extended persons, as the Mentellians. We don't even understand and realize we ain't even checking for black no more. We ain't checking for Negro no more. We ain't checking for African American no more. That don't even mean nothing to us. We ain't checking for none of that no more. The mass majority of you Negroes, you can't do that. You still checking for the beast. You still checking to see what he think. You understand? You niggas up there done fell into the whole thing. Oh, we come from monkeys now. A lot of you guys on that. We'll take a call. 917. 917.
Menzak. This is Namaka Z.
Menzak.
Yeah. I have a question. My question is, when you referred to black people having a certain amount of time before, once they get the call from Amen, if they're still out in the world with the beast and the black race, and it cuts off.
Hello? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, your phone must be messed up. Say it again. I got up to where it cuts off. Guy, what you gonna say after that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there a certain time for the youths, the young ones, until Amen cuts them off? Before, because they can't join right now because they're young. But is there a certain point?
That's why we set up Chapter Y. Chapter Y is for the youth. I set up Chapter Y for the youth
right.
league and whatnot. That's going to be a youth group. The junior Mentellians. That's going to be Chapter Y. That's coming very soon and whatnot. And that's going to be for them. And it's going to until they into the age of 20, then they go fully into the republic. So that's how that works.
Excellent.
You know, chapter Y, they're gonna be told, you know, what their duties are, which is basically to be associate members and hand out flyers and whatnot to find the bright race. Because that's all we out here to do is to find the Mentellians, to find the elect.
Like
Other than that, we ain't out here. We ain't out here for nothing else. We ain't out here to take down the system. We ain't out here to fight with the white man and go back and forth with him about black and white. We're not out here for all that. We're not out here to convince niggas, oh, y'all need to be with us and be mental. No, we ain't out here for that. We here to find the bright race, the living amongst the dead. That's what we here for. We ain't looking for. We ain't checking for the black race. We're not checking for them or the white race or anybody. We don't care. We here to find the bright race. That's
like
it.
You said.
That's it. One goal, one focus, one goal. We here to find the bright race in the name of Amen. Raise them in the name of Amen. That's it. You know, this thing ain't up for no debate. It ain't up for no debate. It ain't up for no argument. It ain't up for no, because, you know, niggas, they love to debate about something and whatnot. Well, there's nothing to debate about. We already said what we were here to do. You ain't with it, you ain't with it. Have a nice day. We ain't talking to you.
Straight to the point,
that's
no
what it
fillers.
is. That's what it is. Straight, raw, no chaser. That's it. All right.
The forward is inevitable for us Mentellians.
That forward is inevitable. The forward is inevitable. These Negroes is out of here, man. They grappling with the fact. They keep listening to me and they keep going, oh, see, you don't know nothing because you know the black race. We ain't going nowhere. Yeah, you ain't going nowhere. That's one thing. You ain't going nowhere, meaning out of the circle, and you're going to be destroyed within the circle. The white man already plotting your destruction. You niggas don't even know that. He already plotting to destroy you. Because he know y'all simple-minded. He already plotting to use your black woman to procreate his mulatto seed for the next generation. It's already done deal, man. You niggas out of here, man. So you guys coming on YouTube talking that shit about, oh, see, you don't know nothing new. You don't know we going to make it. We the black people, we going to make, man, you niggas, man. Y'all, look, man, y'all might as well check yourself into the damn prehistoric museum, man, and tag yourself. You tag yourself as early man. You, the nigga woman, the nigga man, tag yourself as the prehistoric woman and man, right along with the damn beast, man, with the damn white man, the pale man. They're going to be tagging themselves as prehistoric. Just like on Planet of the Apes, where they showed you prehistoric, man. They showed the damn black man in the damn museum. They showed the damn white man who's only walking around. They showed the black man in the damn museum. And I'm talking about the old Planet of the Apes from the 70s. They showed the damn black man in the museum. They showed you that. They showed an image of a stuffed black man in the damn museum. Yeah?
He's not going to make it. That's what it is.
The black man ain't going to make it, man. The white man ain't going to make it. See, the white man already know this. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's pushing all the seeds together. You know what I'm saying? To extend their time. But that's going to be temporary over time. That's going to buy them time. So they can get up out of here. These Negroes don't know, man. They still in their woke moment, and they still talking about black revolution, black power, you know, RBG. They still talking that nonsense, man. Man, the hell with these Negroes, man.
Useless eaters, basically.
Yeah, that's all useless eaters. Them and they slave master. Them and they white slave master. Useless eaters. The blacks and the whites are useless eaters, man. Simple as that. All right?
Yep. Excellent. Keep doing what you're doing, Enjoy.
Always. All right. Menzak. 803.
Greetings, Ruben. How you doing, bro?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I was calling in reference to the comment on what the guy from Aiken, what he was talking about, and what you and the other brother was just talking about.
Is that your son?
No, sir. I'm from South Carolina, no, sir.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, I'm from Sumter, South Carolina. But
okay.
Yes, sir. I was I just been going through the process of separation and like still doing that and like just like fighting these demons off, you know. And what you talked about in reference is like the transmission and like the energies that that flow around. Like it's like I feel like certain pulls from that type of energy and stuff like that, and it's crazy, But like I'm just trying my hardest, to fight those off and stay focused, for the future and things like that. And trying to get in the presence of more people who think alike like this, because like hanging around people who still like dwell in this world is like, that stuff really can, rub off.
Yeah, I mean it can, because like I said, you going the so-called black race. Those are the people who still, as Armin is transmitting this. Those of you who can hear this. See, I'm not talking to you people who can't hear this, who haven't heard the message, and you can't hear it. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those who have an ear and can hear. And I'm talking about mentally receive this. I'm not just talking about physically hearing it. I'm talking about those who have an ear that can hear, because that was meant to be symbolic of a mental transmission. Those who are able to receive it mentally and to see the bigger picture. Those of you who have an ear, let them hear that this message of the Most High, the Creator, Amen, the Lord, is only going to come to the elect for you to extend yourself. So if you was sparked by this message to come to this message, that was the open door to Amen for you to be a part of the change of your life. If you rejected this message for any other reason, for some personal thing, or because I don't like something and whatnot, then that's Amen closing the door on you, because you made it about the three-dimensional thing. You didn't make it about Amen. You didn't make it about Amen. You care more about the beast. And a lot of you so-called black people out here, I feel sorry for you. Not saying you, but I'm saying I feel sorry for you black people who thinking, I'm spiritual, I got knowledge, I'm going to be fine. Okay, you keep on believing that. You with the black race, man. Ain't no in between. Either you're going to be with the bright race or you with the black race. The bright race is gathering in the Republic of MENTELLECT. The black race is with the beast, man. They belong to him. And Amen's going to allow the beast to do whatever he wants. So when you keep hearing the white man shooting niggas down and killing them in the police thing and chasing them and beating them to death and doing whatever, which is going to increase beating the black woman, doing all that, that's the punishment from Amen. That's the punishment from Amen. That's the message that the Amen is allowing the beast to do what he wants with his slaves, to serve him. Simple as that.
Appreciate it. It's understood. Looking forward to the Y group.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 21.
You ain't supposed to be in the Y group. You're supposed to be in the Republic of MENTELLECT. You too old for the Y group.
Oh, but that's what we talked about when we inboxed.
Okay, well if you 21, what's your name?
Sammy Green.
Sammy Green, you 21? Shit, Sammy Green, you supposed to be in the Republic of MENTELLECT, man. I didn't know you. I thought you was like 19 or something like that. I didn't know you was 21. We got your letter.
Oh yes, sir.
Okay, then you gonna get a call in. You gonna get a call. All right, I didn't know you was 21. You 21. It's time for you to be responsible. Start being a man, a Mentellian man, being in this republic, paying your dues and putting in the work. You already know what it takes to be a member, right? You already know. Yes?
Yes.
All right. You know everything and whatnot. You know what's required of you to be a member. Like I said, my assistant conducted the interview with you. Well, like I said, I didn't know you was 21. If I would have knew that, we would have just gone ahead and shot you through. So we're going to go ahead and do what we got to do. We expect a call, all right, or a letter, one or the other, all right? Play one more song before, and we taking calls. I thought this clown was going to call in. And tell me about this scientist and whatnot. See how these Negroes all full of hot air? Now these Negroes all full of hot. I thought he was going to call in on Monday. He said he was going to call in on Monday. Y'all heard him. He was going to debunk me and tell me about the scientists who thought up all the things I done said beforehand and whatnot. Because everybody, like I said, notice it. Here it is. We got 19 minutes left. I ain't heard nothing from Mike. You understand? We already know what you about, man. You ain't nothing but an agent of chaos, man. That's all. You just an agent of chaos. Anyway, I'm going to play a little music for this agent of chaos and whatnot. We'll be right back. And we are back. Like I said, your thoughts are only going to come from two places. Either they're going to come from Amen being the upper mental, or they're going to come from the submental, the beast, mankind. One or the other. It's not coming from, you can't have it both ways. Nothing comes from you. Like I said, you have certain, your thoughts are supposed to really represent the Amen being, because you're supposed to be thinking on a higher level. Your thoughts is really supposed to be representative of Amen. When you are in this society, you more or less conjuring because that's how the beast does. He conjures up and programs and casts out submental transmissions, telepathic transmissions. He casts them out through the television, the radio, and things like that. And you conjuring up ideas or things about this, you conjuring them up, making yourself an open vessel for that lower reception. That's why you go and seek out what people talking about on TV. You go and seek out what they talking about on the radio. You seek out what they talking about in everyday average social interactions and whatnot. You seek out these things and whatnot because, like I said, you're drawing energy from the beast. You're drawing it from his force field, and that's why he's powerful, because he has so many open receivers who are willing to receive his submental and lower transmission. That's why he appears to be very powerful. But see, that's the people. That's the people. The people are robots. The people are robots. They're going to follow the three-dimensional working or the three-dimensional transmission, the submission of the beast. And those who are of the upper mental, they're going to follow the transmission of Amen. They're going to see beyond and above and beyond. But make no mistake about it, we don't have no visions. None of us. Nobody here on the planet has any visions. You don't come out having any thoughts, no images. Images are projected into you. Either they're going to come by way of the beast or they're going to come by way of Amen. And even the beast gets his transmission from Amen. But they just break it down and water it down to where, and they put it out to the world. They turn it upside down. They turn it backwards. They take things out. You understand? They water it down for everybody because they know people are not mentally strong in this society on this planet to receive the full-on transmission of Amen. The mass majority are not fully strong to receive that transmission, receive those images and those future thoughts. They not mentally strong enough, and they're not built to receive that. That's why That's why Amen is calling for the elect, who were projected here, who would receive that in these days. That's why it's about the elect. That's why these people keep saying, oh, see, why the elect only got to be 144,000 and whatnot. Why the elect only got to be this, that, and the third? Because the mass majority of the planet couldn't receive all this transmission. You'll know who the elect are by the fact that they're able to receive this transmission and walk this path. That's how you know who the elect are, who the children of the elect are going to be, whose bloodline is going to continue and whose bloodline is going to discontinue. That's how you know. You know that you're going to live on in the future by way of Amen. That's the only way you're going to live on. The rest of these people, they finished, man. They're finished. Because the beast transmission is temporary and it's watered down. It's weak, and it's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. The more the elect are here receiving that transmission of Amen, the weaker the beast is going to become. Everything he's going to do is going to be so transparent. All of his ideologies, his philosophies, his slave mentality put on you at work to follow in the circle, it's going to show itself to be weaker and weaker and weaker. You understand? It's going to become more transparent, more weak. Well, at one point in time, you couldn't even think on that level. His thing was so strong. His transmission appeared to be so strong. You was walking around like a zombie. I must go to work. I must come home. I must go work out. I must go shopping. I must spend money. I must give it back to the white man. I must go back and do this again. I must go to the club and hang out. I must go and work out and do this and go to my boyfriend's house, go to my girlfriend's house, come back, do that. And you was doing that as a form of a way of what you thought was life, but it was existence. You was walking around like a robot receiving his submental transmission. You didn't think it was nothing beyond him. Now you're starting to see something beyond him. That's mentellect. That's the transmission that Amen is opening you up to. Not Nuben Menkares, not from my imagination, because I don't have no imagination. Everything that I have comes from Amen. I told you that. Everything I have comes from Amen. All the knowledge that I'm teaching you through mentellect is Amen. It's not me. I am a part of Amen. Extending myself by way of Amen. That's the only way I'm able to do this. But you would have asked me this stuff 10 years ago. I'd been like, what you talking about? I'd been like, what is mentellect? 10, 15 years ago, I'd been like, what's mentellect? What is that? That wasn't my thoughts. That was Amen that transmitted that. Amen transmits all future knowledge, not man. Man don't transmit nothing future. You understand? Anything that man gets comes from Amen. anything that's futuristic, there's societies going on. From the rise of these societies to the downfall of these societies comes from Amen. That's why I tell you so-called Israelites, you keep talking about the white man and his kingdom and society, then don't you know Amen allowed that society to be put up? The same God that you claim you worship and whatnot allowed these societies to be put up, allowed this technology to come onto the earth. That's how I know you guys are really not men of the Lord. Because if you knew that, you know your Lord, whoever your Lord's supposed to be, your God's supposed to be, you know that he wanted the technology here. He wanted the television here. He wanted all of these things here for a reason. And you guys are not coming into alignment for that reason, because you're supposed to be the extension of that transmission, that future transmission. You're supposed to know how to do things above and beyond what the white man is doing in society to take things forward. You think Amen gonna he gonna let all that technology and things come in? They're gonna release all that technology through mankind to come here so that y'all can't pick the ball up and keep it moving, keep these societies going, put it on a higher and extended level. Amen wanted government set up. Amen wanted technology here because they obviously got it in other worlds, in other places. But you guys talking about, well, we're going to go back to wearing robes and sandals and we're going to be with shekels and this, that, and the third. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. This is our plug into the future. MENTELLECT is our plug into the future. It is our line into the future. Like the brother says, our lifeline into the future. That's literally what this is. You Negroes ain't got no lifeline. Y'all finished, man. Y'all still waiting on the white man to tell you when to be to work, when to get off, when to do this, when you know what books to read, what you should be listening to on YouTube and whatnot. That's what y'all going off of. And like I said, it's not altering a change in your life. He don't have nothing. He don't have no knowledge or no transmission for you to change your life. He got all his transmission and knowledge is to keep you being a damn slave going in rotation for him. That's the only thing you're going to receive in your image, a.k.a. your imagination, is to keep moving in a circle being a damn slave. Because like I said, Mike, you didn't offer nothing in replacement to what I'm teaching about MENTELLECT. All you want to, you ain't teaching nothing. That's all you Negroes do. All you can do is try and tear something down. But a true sign of those who are in connection with Amen is you tear it down and you replace it with something greater. And you ain't replacing nothing greater than MENTELLECT. You're not going to do that. The only one that can replace something greater is Amen. That's the only one that can replace him, not the damn white man, like you Negroes, not none of these, not you mulattoes or you other people here. The only one that can replace something greater than MENTELLECT is Amen. You understand that? That's how that works. You ain't doing nothing outside of Amen. You understand? You ain't doing nothing outside the damn beast. Those of you following the beast, you talking, well, I acknowledge you saying new, but I don't follow the beast. Yes, you do. If you ain't here in the Republic of MENTELLECT, you follow the beast. Simple as that. Plain and simple. You ain't following Amen in the Republic of MENTELLECT, as Amen sent the message to separate his people, his persons, from everybody else, his elect. What do you do when you have something that you consider to be special, something that you want to continue on? You're going to separate it from the regular. That's how you mark your people. You mark your people by separating your people. You don't say, oh, y'all my people, but we're going to be amongst the so-called black race. No, we ain't doing that. You understand? That's how you mark your people. You separate them from everybody else. You put them on the sideline and whatnot, and you teach them, you send your projection, your transmission straight to them. And the hell with everybody else. And that's it. Let me do these questions before we go. Where does thoughts and imagination really come from? From Amen. And when Amen from the upper mental and the lesser mental comes from the beast. Do we really have them on our own? No, you don't. Everything comes from someplace, because you always ask when you get something, well, where does that come from? It's either coming from the upper mental, which is Amen, or it's coming from the beast. The mass majority of the stuff on the planet comes from the beast. He just takes Amen's messages and waters them down to where it's spiritual. Why are they generated into our heads? For direction. The whole point is direction. Even the beast sends these messages, these submental messages for direction, just to move in a circle. Who generates them? We generate. The Amen beings generate them in our head, and the beast takes them and does a artificial generation through his television and his media and things. What are they supposed to become over time? These thoughts are supposed to become straight visions and straight paths into the future for us to grow and change and to evolve. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and close out this broadcast in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen. And Amen we trust, and Amen we think, and Amen we continue forward forever. Hail Amen, hail the Republic of Mentellect, hail the Mentellians. Good night. See y'all Wednesday.
Republic of Mentellect, rising out the black race to the white race, out the black race to the white race. It's the Republic of Mentellect, black race to the white race. If it's hail Amen, then it's hail us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities that we